Hi everybody, I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Cavlin here with a look at your forecast. We've got some really big storms happening across the Houston area. We just want to give you an update on what's going on here. Nothing severe at this point. Just want to start off with that. No flash flooding either, although we're probably seeing some high water spots in the usual areas that do deal with that when we get heavy rain events like this. We had some of that yesterday out towards Bissonnette. We had some of the feeder roads off 59 kind of dealing with it. So that's probably going to be the case again as we go through the day today. So again, you could see a lot of rain just kind of moving across the area. We've had it start to the south of the city first, then it just kind of moved across Harris County. Now we've got new activity starting a little farther to the north as well. And that's just going to be the case here as we go through the next few hours. So I'll step off screen here. We'll just kind of walk you through what's going on. We'll get you in for a closer look here just to see exactly where the heaviest of the rain is falling. If you just give me 1 second, actually. I want to set something up here for us to kind of walk through the radar together. But yeah, a lot of rain coming down here. And that's just going to be with us here today. The good news, though, is that I think today is going to be the last day that we really see the heaviest of this rain. I do think our rain chances start to trim back as we get into tomorrow. All right, there we go. All right, so we'll get into Harris County first. And you can see some pretty heavy downpours northeast side of the city, getting up towards Lake Houston through Atascocita, Cypress to Tomball, seeing quite a big thunderstorm at the moment. We'll get you in for a closer look there. Again, nothing severe, but a lot of red on the screen indicating rainfall rates 2-3 inches per hour. And actually, as we stop the clock, I'm noticing a tiny smidge of magenta pretty much right over the Tomball area. Maybe we see some small pea-sized hail get into some of these feistier storms. I don't think it's a big concern for us, though. If anything, we might get some gusty winds with any of these bigger storms that develop. Just to the east of Bush and east of the East Tex Freeway here, again out towards Atascocita, down towards Magnolia Gardens, a good thunderstorm starting to move into the area right now. Into the city, we're starting to trend a little bit drier. A couple of lighter showers, definitely a drippy afternoon for us. But we did have some big storms roll through earlier. Those again now north up towards the Atascocita area and then up towards Cypress and Tomball. Back to the wider shot, you can see some more activity developing out towards Washington County, getting into Grimes County as well. In for a closer look there, you can see pretty decent amount of lightning here. Notice all the strikes from Belleville back through Columbus and up towards the Hempstead area. So again, nothing severe at this point, just garden variety thunderstorms for us here as we get into mid-July in southeast Texas. But there is certainly a lot of coverage today, and that's exactly what we said would be the case yesterday. Yesterday we had a lot of storms out there. Today it's a carbon copy, but we do start to trend a little bit drier as we get into tomorrow. Going farther north into the Washington County area, getting up into Grimes County, you can see a thunderstorm here from Brenham up through Navasota as well. Then north and east of there into Huntsville, you got a pretty big thunderstorm on the way there. This is moving in your direction as we kind of put the radar loop into motion. You'll see all of this coming in from the south and west. So a pretty healthy amount of lightning there coming up FM 1791. So that'll be just to the south of downtown Huntsville here in the next few minutes. Again, nothing severe. We're not tracking the potential for any hail as we switch over to our hail detector. If you saw any of these colors on there, that would indicate the presence of hail, and we're just not dealing with that at the moment. So getting back to radar and getting back to the wider view, you could see, again, it's just a really active and a really wet day for us here across southeast Texas. We do even have some storms at the coast. You can see some pretty steady rain falling right now from Galveston back through coastal Brazoria and Matagorda County as well. Kind of a different setup than what we had yesterday. Yesterday, these were the drier spots. If you remember, yesterday, Galveston wasn't really seeing any rainfall until we got into the evening hours. You had a thunderstorm kind of race through, moving to Chambers County. We've got some steadier showers back through Angleton into Markham, and then south through Bay City right now into Matagorda County. But it's pretty much everywhere. I mean, everyone's seeing something at the moment, either a lot of cloud coverage or at least drippy conditions to even those heavier thunderstorms and downpours. But again, up into the city, we're not really seeing a lot of heavy activity. That kind of all lifted to the north. You can see it's all coming in from the Gulf, and that's the source for all of this tropical moisture that's going to be with us here as we go through the rest of the day. We'll switch over to see if there's any warnings out there or any advisories. I don't see anything. I mean, nothing, not even a special weather statement, which would indicate, at least a stronger thunderstorm. So there's the good news. Everything's behaving itself. We're not even seeing any, flood warnings or flood advisories at the moment. Again, that might change here as we go through the afternoon with some of these more persistent storms, but everything's been moving. And that's what you want to see. If stuff were to start to become stationary or train over the same area, that is redevelop over the same area, that's when flooding becomes a concern. But when you've got stuff that's kind of progressive here and just moving through the area, this is not going to cause anything more than just some ponding on the roadways and maybe some higher water spots as you get out towards the feeder roads. All right, so let's take you through the forecast here with Future Track. As we go through the rest of the evening, I think things will start to shut off pretty quickly. Maybe even faster than what we saw yesterday, probably around 6 to 6:30. I think we're totally done with everything. Stuff will start to move to our north, out towards Madisonville, Bryan, College Station, back towards Austin as well. And then let's get into tomorrow and check this out. Tomorrow morning we start off dry. We'll actually have some sunshine to start tomorrow, even through midday, noon, 1 o'clock, dry. And even for the coastal spots, this is where we've seen those storms developing around mid-morning the last few days. I think tomorrow everyone is dry up till probably about 2 or 3 o'clock. And that's when I think maybe a couple of storms will start to fire. Future Track might be overdoing this, but I do think the general idea for tomorrow will be rain chances from I-45 and points east. I think the farther west you go, the more isolated it's going to be. Either way, though, it's definitely a drier day overall for everyone. That said, if you get a downpour tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty good period of heavy rain. But that'll probably last through about 6 o'clock, and then things will start to wind down. So your forecast over the next few days looks like this. Again, widespread rain chances out there for today. That'll keep temperatures down. I think we've already gotten to our high temperature of about 90 degrees. We'll probably be in the 70s and 80s now for the rest of the afternoon. Warmer, though, tomorrow and Friday with more isolated rain chances. I think we pop back into the mid-90s, and then scattered storm chances come back again as we get into the weekend. We'll talk about that. We'll have another look at radar coming up when I see you on the KHOU 11 News at 4 o'clock. And we'll probably do another radar update for you coming up in the next hour. Thanks for watching. Stay dry. We'll see you later.